Hi, I'm Timothy Gasson. In this next hour, we'll see some of the most exciting underground garage music videos from the 1980s to today. This revival of garage sounds is traced directly back to the pinnacle of the first garage movement of the mid-1960s. By 1966, local teenage garage bands had invaded every neighborhood in every corner of the globe. More kids were playing and making their own rock and roll than at any other time in history. And they left artifacts for later generations to find. This first crop of garageniks released their own records, and there was so much self-made garage music recorded that it is still being discovered and reissued today. The underground garage and psychedelic fashions were also well documented in teen magazines, movies, and TV shows. So the garage uniform could be recreated. Boys with long Prince Albert haircuts, stovepipe pants and beetle boots, girls with day-glow miniskirts and stylish paisley dresses. Don't confuse these 1980s hipsters with late 1960s hippies. Add in the staples of the garage band sound, fuzzed Vox, Dan Electro, and Rickenbacker guitars, wheezing Farfisa organs and snotty vocals, and all the elements of a new teen rebellion were in place, ready to be rediscovered.
Psychedelic music is always what I like best. I was a real big Beatles fan, and from there I started listening to a lot of the more obscure bands. And I think it's just the best form of rock and roll there is, because it's very basic, yet it's creative. Like, you can take it off into, psychedelic directions, yet it's real roots rock and roll.
Then the 1977 punk movement hit. Fueled with that new do-it-yourself energy, the neo-garage punk movement could rise above nostalgia to create its own look, sound, and vibrancy.
We've distilled the most underground, most wiry elements and added it with dance rhythms and pop. And we're working on several new genres.
Yeah. It's sort of an update. It's like trying to freshen up the old sounds that really turn us on, but we want to make it new for now and in the future and kind of keep it going.
A lot has happened since the 60s, so we include that. It's got to be an influence, so the music that's happened since.
Only a few pioneering groups were mining the garage and psych sound in the late 1970s, but the genre caught fire in the early 1980s, thanks in large part to Greg Shaw and his Bomp and Vox record labels. Soon every nation sported its own nest of revivalists, but the US led the way on both coasts. The much publicized Paisley Underground in California was only partially associated with the movement, while other more authentic California acts wore their 1960 roots proudly. On the East Coast, a slew of new and diverse acts led an assault that would breed an astonishing amount of vibrant new garage sounds.
Why the Fuzz Tones started was in the concept of doing music that was totally different than anything else that was out at the moment. As far as the 60s went, it meant freedom to break away from what society said you had to do. So we wanted total freedom to break away from the type of music that the industry said we had to do. We didn't want to do disco, we didn't want to do new wave, we didn't want to do punk. We wanted to do something that we really liked.
Soon Middle America and Canada followed, and by the mid-1980s almost every city in North America boasted its own underground new garage scene. At the same time, the rest of the world kept pace. From the UK throughout Europe to Australia and beyond, the garage look and style produced some of the best underground sounds in its history. The new garage and psychedelic movement continues to sweep across the globe, and in this video edition we'll explore the sights and sounds of Canada and the United States. So turn it up and dig the Nights of Fuzz.